Hello and welcome to a special edition of Self Builder TV. We're in rural Gloucestershire at the Northcote Brickworks near Moreton in Marsh.
Now you might think that a brick is a brick is a brick, but that's where you'd be wrong. There is an incredible variety of texture, size and colour.
And if you wanted an off-the-shelf brick, well, you'd just buy an off-the-shelf house, wouldn't you? But as a self-builder, you're probably looking for something a bit unique, a bit different, a bit special about your brick.
Which is why we're here at Northcote Bricks. This is the home of the handmade brick, and there is every single type of brick under the sun for you to see right here.
And that's not all, because we're giving you the opportunity to win 10,000 bricks, or bricks up to a value of £3,000. That's enough to build a small bungalow. So stay with us later in the programme for that.
But first, let's go and take a look around.
Well, when you're choosing a brick, there are four main things to consider: the colour, the texture, the size, and whether you want a handmade brick or a mass-produced brick, one of each here. I'm with Ian Cox, the production manager. Ian, you've got a man here who's about to make one of these. Talk us through the process.
Okay, Ben's here today. He's going to make some handmade bricks. Carry on, Ben. First of all, he's going to cut the required amount of clay. Then he's going to knock his clod of clay up into the required coloured sand and hand throw that into a mould. Taps the clay down into the mould so it fills all the area of the brick.
Slices the top off.
Slices the top off, and then just that's your brick.
Beautiful. That was very quick and easy. How long did that take? 20 seconds?
20 seconds maximum.
And how many would they produce in a day?
1,200 bricks a day.
Wow, that's a lot of bricks. And so, okay, that's one of those, but one of these, quite a different process, I imagine.
Very different process.
How do you make one of those then?
We actually make that through our main mill through there, and it's basically all machinery. The people actually don't handle the bricks at all. The robot picks them up, stacks them up. We roughly make about 50,000 a day.
And in terms of durability and so on, what are the differences between these two?
Absolutely no difference at all. The only difference is these obviously look a lot nicer, in my opinion, than a machine-made brick does.
Right, you know what? I'm here, I'm all dressed up in my apron. So let's get rid of those, and I think I should make a brick.
Okay.
Go on, show me what to do. So I grab this,
Yeah,
slap it down here.
yeah. Forward and backwards.
Or forwards and backwards.
And backwards.
Make
Side
it-
to side.
Make it look like a brick.
Okay.
Okay, that's sort of
Okay.
vaguely brick shaped. In there.
Yeah. Your fingers underneath the base.
Okay, slam it. Oh, that is
Keep going.
surprisingly heavy. Gosh,
That'll be fine.
you wouldn't need to go to the gym if you did this every day, would you? Slice off the top.
Yeah. Remove the top.
Okay, remove the top. Okay,
Put
now
a
what?
paddle onto the top.
Just on the top.
Just one.
One of them. Right.
Yeah. Tip the whole thing to the side. Remove the base. Pull the
Remove the
bottom.
base.
That's it. Let the thing go over now.
Wow.
Take off the mould. The other paddle on the top.
I've made a brick. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Ian. Fascinating stuff, isn't it? I have made a brick. And equally fascinating is the history of this place. So let's go over to Simon now. He's with the managing director and he'll tell us a bit more.
Ooh, Jackie, you do make a lovely brick. Well, with me to tell me a little bit about the history of the place is Managing Director Michael Brown. Michael, where did it all start?
Well, we understand the works was founded in the mid-1920s by Captain Spencer Churchill, a cousin of Sir Winston himself. We believe he He started it to provide employment for the local people. Not sure it was a good idea to make bricks in the Cotswold area, but it's kept going. He makes the traditional reds. His most famous job was the Battersea Power Station in the 30s, which was a great coup for the quarry. It then came into present ownership in the mid-1960s after his death, and it's stayed in that ownership ever since. The industry's changed enormously in that time. Hundreds of the old local brickworks have gone to the wall in that time. And so we realised that there were very few of the old-fashioned kind of works left, with the old kilns, the old clay, the old processes. And that was actually a plus for us. Although it costs us more to make, we've got, we believe, more interesting bricks as a result.
And particularly with self-builders, I understand.
Yes, we often find that they are interested in the handmade bricks and bricks with character, really. It's the variety and the texture that the old-fashioned processes build into the brick-making process.
Now, you are also home to a few of the dinosaurs, I understand.
Well, over the years, we have dug up a lot of fossils in part of the quarry, and a couple of dinosaurs have been discovered. One, we understand, was a new species. We asked them to call it Northcottiensis, but they couldn't be persuaded to, but we understand it's never been discovered before. It was a swimming one, a plesiosaur. So we like to think of ourselves as the dinosaur of the brick industry.
But you've lasted longer than the dinosaurs, you've kept going.
Without it.
And do you foresee a market for this kind of product into the future?
Oh, very much so. We've found that the high value end has kept going well through the recession. We've expanded production of the handmaids during that time. And there are still people who want the equivalent of real ale in a world of warm beer. And the character often matching the old bricks around the country which are no longer made locally.
Well, Michael, thank you very much.
Well, as you've seen from those pictures, Northcote really is a fascinating place. There's an open day here today, so let's see what some visitors think of it.
You've used the kit here before, but you've never seen the bricks made.
Well, that's very true. Yeah, I've used Northcote bricks before. I think it's because they're built sort of traditionally, or made traditionally, that they've got such a variation and a choice, you know, so it just happened to match what I needed, so it was good, so I used them.
The current development we're doing is actually my house, myself and my wife and my children, and it's a typical old farmhouse in that it's got various sections that have been added on over the past 500 years. There's one section that's about 500 years old, another section 250, and another section 150. So it was very precise on the bricks we had to match, and it turned out they weren't an exact measurement to standard bricks. They actually ended up about an average of 62 millimetres, which, having looked into, no other building brick supplier would actually supply me with. But speaking to Mike, he came, I had a look, he was very dedicated to what I was trying to achieve, and they actually made a bespoke blend of bricks, which took a brick from 4 blends they already did and made them to 62 millimetres, which was very, very helpful.
And colours as well. I think you had problems matching colours, did you? Did he sort of mix 4 different colours or something for you?
Yes. I found with Mike, as opposed to other brick salespeople, they try and offer you a range and they won't deviate from that range. Whereas Mike came and spent a considerable time with me trying to match the colours to the existing. And in the end, we did actually take 1 brick from 4 different ranges to make our own blend, which is now termed the Hullcott blend.
Now when you're choosing bricks, of course, colour's important and size is important, but texture is also a real consideration, and there's lots of different textures available for lots of different uses. Mike Falloon is here. You're going to talk me through some of the ones you've got here.
I am indeed, Jackie. As you know, on the plant we do both handmade and machine-made bricks. These are the handmade bricks that we produce, and they have a sand-faced finish. That gives them the different sands give the different colour once they're fired.
And what would you use that for?
It's very popular with self-builders as a brick to do a new build. We supply a lot of those into the market. So the sand-faced is the most popular one we do.
Okay.
Along with the sand-faced, we also do an oil-released brick, and that is a smooth finish as well. And that's quite useful for matching and refurbishment projects where the bricks have worn away over the period of time. So they're two popular handmade textures.
Okay.
On the machine-made bricks, again, this is a smooth finish. This is a 73mm imperial size brick. We then take the smooth finish bricks and we tumble them, we rumble them to give a reclaimed effect. So it looks like an old brick.
So useful for older properties again, isn't it?
Very much so for matching older properties. So that's where they're tumbled. In addition to the smooths, we also do a range of sand-faced bricks. So again, you can see the sanded texture on there. And again, we rumble those bricks to give you a reclaimed looking brick.
And what is rumbling exactly?
Rumbling is where we put bricks onto a conveyor belt and we put them through a rumbling machine.
Oh.
So it basically distresses the arises of the brick to give them an old look.
Okay.
But the being an old looking brick, it's still a fully frost resistant brick, and these are considerably cheaper than second-hand and reclaimed bricks that
So you
can
get the best
on
of
the
both
market.
worlds there, really,
Yeah.
don't you? That's fantastic. And the last one there.
And the last one, this is a new texture that we've introduced. This is called the Cotswold texture. It's a unique texture that we do, and it's on all four sides of the brick. So basically, from a wastage point of view, because you've got two stretchers either side and two headers either side, you get very little wastage. So that's proving quite popular in the last 6 months since its launch.
Brilliant, thank you very much. So lots of different textures, lots of different uses. Very interesting, Mike, thank you.
You're very welcome.
For more information on how to pick your brick, you can download our latest fact sheet from selfbuilder.tv/info. That's about it for part 1. Coming up in part 2, your chance to win an entire lorry load, 10,000 bricks for your self-builder project.
Welcome back to Self Builder TV. We're at Northcote Brickworks in Gloucestershire, and Simon is currently up there on top of the furnaces with Works Manager Dale Moss, talking about how they get the different colours of bricks. Are you okay up there, Simon?
Yeah, we're all right, but I'll tell you what, it's always summer up on top of these furnaces. So tell me, Dale, we've seen the clay that the bricks start as this sort of grey colour almost. You call it the green stage, don't you?
Yes.
How do they end up being the colour of brick?
Well, we're very lucky because our clay is very iron rich, which naturally fires orange. So that's our base colour we start with.
But you can actually turn them out in all sorts of different colours, can't you?
We can. We've got our suppliers that give us the stains required for that, and also the firing techniques, as in the old traditional ways or the modern day ways.
Because I've noticed that the handmade bricks are actually quite a different shade from any of the mass-produced ones, aren't they?
Yes, that's the beauty of the way that we set the bricks. We can closely pack them together or leave wider gaps to change the tints of colour.
So presumably if someone's doing a restoration job or something, you can have a go at trying to get close to matching up to them?
Of course we can. We spend a lot of time visiting these sites, coming back, designing, setting patterns, and then firing them in different kilns.
So is there more versatility in terms of the colours here in this traditional works than there would be in one of the larger, mass-produced places?
Yes, we're small enough to care here, and we spend a lot of time speaking to customers, inviting them to site to look how we do things, and hopefully producing a brick match for them.
I suppose colours go in fashions as well, don't they? I mean, I presume you get a phase where a particular colour's what everyone wants and then it changes.
Yes, we just spent 3 years producing a range of bricks that are very old traditional bricks that match buildings from over 100 years ago.
Right, so an awful lot of effort goes into making sure that shade is just right.
Yes, it does. With us being a small company, we have to try and go for the niche marketplace.
Right. So do you have a favourite brick colour?
No.
But you can tell, presumably by the colour, if you look at a brick on a house, you can tell quite a lot about it, I would have thought.
Yes, we can. We've also got weathering techniques because over the years, a lot of houses have naturally weathered. So we try to match as close as we can.
Well, Dale, thank you very much. And now it's over to Jackie with news of a very exciting brick-related competition.
Thanks, Simon. Well, this is what 10,000 bricks look like. It's enough to build a 2-bedroom bungalow, and we're giving you the chance to win 10,000 bricks or bricks up to a value of £3,000 by answering this question. When did Northcote Brickworks establish its manufacturing facilities here in Blockley near Moreton in Marsh? Was it A, in the 1920s, B, in the 1970s, or C, in the 1990s? To enter, visit our website at selfbuilder.tv/bricks. Terms and conditions apply. Please see the website for all details.
Okay, well, joining me now is Neil Grice from E.H. Smith Builders Merchants, who buys an awful lot of bricks from here. Tell me, Neil, is there actually still a place in the market for traditionally made products like this?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, one of the things we find nowadays with modern methods of production is that some of the brick manufacturers are unable to obviously get this oldie worldy effect, and certainly in the market where we portray ourselves, which is the extension and renovation side, we find that Northcote have got this unique blend of products now. They've managed to manufacture a blend of products which enables us to match into bricks from sort of 80 to 100 years ago, which obviously in a day where our clients and our builders want to match as close as they can, it's quite important. And we find nowadays as well, builders and clients are more particular as to the types of bricks they want to purchase because they want it to match, unlike what they were 20, 30 years ago, and there was nothing like this available. So yeah, definitely, there's definitely a market for Northcote bricks still.
So even in an economic climate like this, there is still a place for quality?
Well, certainly, yeah. I mean, obviously the housing market's been on its bottoms for a good while now, but what we have found obviously is people have a tendency to, okay, if they can't afford or they can't get the funding to move to a new house, they want to renovate or improve their house that they've got. But obviously with that comes the need to obviously match into bricks from a good sort of 60, 70 years ago, and obviously this is where the likes of Northcote, with the extensive range that they've got now and the new range that they've currently brought in, helps the likes of us as a builders merchants.
Right, well Neil, thank you very much indeed.
Problem.
It's now over to Jackie, who tells me that size does matter, especially if you're a brick.
Yeah, Simon, size certainly is important, but you know what? Here it is not an issue, because with handmade bricks you can have any size you want. Mike's here again. You can make any size a customer needs for any purpose, can't you?
That's correct, Jackie. As well as 65mm metric bricks, we also do 73mm imperial bricks, but we also do a range of special shapes. Some of them are British standard, some of them are non-standard, bespoke or purpose-made. You can see a selection that we've got here, from returns to copings for walls, for sill details as well, as a 45-degree dogleg angle for use on bay windows. We've also got soldier and coping bricks that you can see here. Some of these are standard, some of them are non-standard. But basically, if it can be thrown in clay, we can make it at Northcote. So we've got copings, various Victoriana specials as well, and finally on the end we have some air bricks.
So if you're self-building and you're not really sure what brick to use for what purpose, well, just come here and you've got them all here to show people.
That's right. Any colour, any texture, any size.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
it's absolutely fascinating. Use machinery dating back a good 150 years, I would have thought, through to fairly modern technology. And it's good to see a wide range of bricks being produced in both traditional and the sort of more modern wire cut ways. It's fascinating.
Factory. It's very interesting. It's a step back in time, really, because a lot of it, I didn't realise how much of it was labour intensive, but it's really, really interesting to see the handmade bricks, being produced, and yes, it's wonderful to see it. Yes.
In terms of demand, how does the demand for handmade bricks compare to the machine-made ones?
I think it's gradually beginning to grow, especially in a place like Oxford, because there's a lot of Victorian properties there, and to get that effect, with handmades. You can't get reclaims, they're not up to a very good standard anyway. So a company like Northcott can produce an equivalent, and it's marvellous really. I mean, they've got such a range, you can suit most tastes and match up with most existing ones.
How long it takes and what they have to do to make them. Amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, I've laid millions of bricks, but never seen them made before.
And as someone who has laid millions of bricks, can you tell the difference in terms of quality between a handmade and something which is churned out, mass-produced?
Really, it's just the size is usually the same. It's just the quality of the brick, I think.
The handmade bricks all have their own little quirks. They have their individual grain and texture, and because each brick is different, they in turn give a character to the property or the structure that's being built.
You can't beat the character of a handmade brick as opposed to a machine made. It varies in tones and colours, and we found the product that Mike was offering was a very, very good product, which you may be able to get elsewhere on the market, but at considerably more price.
Well, that's all we've got time for, I'm afraid, on this week's Self Builder TV. I hope you enjoyed this trip round the fantastic, historic Northcote Brickworks.
Yeah, we certainly did, and I got to make a brick, which was fantastic.
I'm so jealous.
I know you are. We certainly learnt a lot though, and we hope you did as well. And of course, don't forget to enter our brilliant competition.
And also, don't forget that if you want to find out any of the information from tonight's programme, you can just go to our website, selfbuilder.tv/info, and download the latest information sheet.
But for now from us, goodbye.
And good luck with that self-build.